It's male students with a particular focus on self-identified Black and Latino males. It's not solely open to just Black and Latino males, but we do have a particular focus on it because we've seen the retention and graduation rates are extremely low for this population. So we really wanted to start to work with that population. Um, it's a one-stop student service center where its members from all disciplines can come together to interact, learn, grow, and build successful traits toward their personal and professional goals in life. So the goal is to just make sure that students are provided with endless support and resources that they can use to help them help retain them and help them graduate and meet their individual goals um, while they're here at
Hello, this
Queensborough
is Ben.
Community College. Can you hear me?
Hey, Martha.
Oh. So why join Queensborough Male
Okay,
Resource
can
Center, right? Um, Queensborough Male Resource Center students are part of a community. So of course we know college is hard, life is hard, right? So why go through it alone? You have that support. We have tons of resources that we can connect you to, as well as resources that we offer to you at the Queensborough Male Resource Center. So we want to make sure we get those resources to you, provide you with a support system, provide you with opportunities to make sure that you're successful here at Queensborough Community College. So the benefits that we offer is we have mentorship. The mentorship is a peer mentorship program as well as a faculty mentorship program. We have career exploration training, we have employment opportunities, we have academic support, we have leadership development. A lot of the programming that we're going to offer is going to be around those different areas. So if you have any students that you feel are have been successful with navigating Queensborough Community College, has at least 15 credits, I will definitely be looking to hire some students to serve as our peer mentors at the Queensborough Male Resource Center. So please feel free to reach out to me. I have some peer mentor applications that they can complete and send back to me if you have anyone that you feel would be a good addition to the program. So under the Male Resource Center, we also have two programs that would fall under the Male Resource Center as well. We have the QCC BMI program, Black Male Initiative program, and we have the QCC XL program. So the QCC BMI program, I'm not sure. I would assume everyone has heard about the BMI program. So it's designed to provide a network of support to Black males and other underrepresented groups here at Queensborough Community College. But the goal is to help foster confidence, belonging, and success not only at QCC, but in life. We provide you with academic, professional, and personal support while you're here with building community and opportunities amongst our network. So students have that ability to be part of a community, be part of a network, be part of a family. With QCC XL, this program is specifically designed for Black males, but this program is designed for any Black males who have had any type of breaks in their education. So breaks can be anything from they started school late to they did start school, they were attending college at some point and then left for a period of time and then are looking to return back to the campus. Um, Within that program, members learn how to navigate higher education and life through improved relationships with faculty, staff, and students alike. So also we are working with the population of any students who are on the break of who may be at risk of taking a break. So any students that are on academic probation, academic alert, so anyone that has a GPA from 1.5 to 2.5 grade point average, we've been working with them to make sure that we provide them with support in regards to tutoring, mentorship, leadership development, character development, those different things. So why join BMI? So similar to the Queensborough Male Resource Center, we provide students with mentorship, peer mentorship, faculty mentorship, career exploration training, employment opportunity. We provide student support. We're going to have a plan for students to have consistent advisement. Students receive MetroCards while they're in the BMI program as well. And then for QCC XL, we pay students readmission fees. So if students have to return back to the college because they don't have an active term, we pay that readmission fee. We provide faculty and peer mentorship. We provide group workshops and career support, as well as opportunity for students to earn free monthly Metro cards. Our contact information is here. We have a mailbox for the Queensborough Male Resource Center, for the QCC XL program, the QCC BMI program. The center is still under construction, but it's going to be located in the Student Union upper level. This is the direct number to contact us. We are currently located in the library room 417. The BMI office is still in the lower level of the Student Union for now, but the hope is by the end of the semester we'll be in the space, the student union upper level. Is there any questions? Anyone want to know a little bit more about the program, or what are some things I can share with you?
Hi, Jamal. Can you just go over the mentor requirements again?
To become a mentor?
Yes.
So students would have to have at least 15 credits that they've completed already, have higher than the 2.5 GPA, be interested and willing to work with students, and can share their experiences.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jamal. This is Mona. I have a question. Do you have any resources for housing for students?
I don't have any resources for housing. My goal is to work directly with Awadi and everyone in the ARC department to provide students with that public assistance.
Thank you.
Mhm. Is there any other questions? All right, so I want to thank you all for your time and allow me to speak. Thank you, Will.
Thank you, Jamal. The next speaker is we're running a little early, so that's okay. But just a quick update. As far as the speakers go, on financial aid will not be presenting today, so there'll be a slight shift in the schedule there, and we'll be looking to post a financial aid training because there's extensive information, at least an hour's worth of training regarding any new financial aid updates for advisors. So we're looking to schedule something in the next week or two, and we'll keep you posted on that. So just hold on, and just the next speaker is Stefan Spezio from the Tutoring Center. Just waiting for him to come on. Sure, Renee.
Thank you. Hi, good morning, everyone. This is Renee from the Transfer Resource Center. I just wanted to take a few minutes to share with you that today on our campus, we'll be having two visitors. We actually have an admissions rep from SUNY Maritime now in our office. And later this afternoon, from 12:30 to 4:30, we will also be hosting a representative from Touro University, the Occupational Therapy Program. As you know, those two schools, we have articulation agreements with them. So I just wanted to let you know, if you have a student that may be interested in either of those two schools, you could have them either stop in to our office because they're here, or they could call us and we could try to set up a way for them to either Zoom in with the rep or a phone call. So just wanted to make you aware of that.
Renee,
Yes.
I know you had a training back in February in regards to your new programs. We do have some time actually. Could you expand a little bit on that maybe for the next 5 minutes or so, 10 minutes?
Sure. So we did our training for the advisors and staff about transfer issues that we are seeing with students, and we just wanted to share briefly. I'll tool that we have. I don't know if we have, I can share my screen.
Yes, you can. Mhm.
Okay,
You're free.
great. Okay, so we've updated our website, and this is kudos to Susan Madera as well as Lenny Sanchez in our office, along with the assistance of the web services team of updating the Transfer Resource Center website. So this is a really good tool for you to be able to use while you're working with students. It has a wealth of information that students can go through, as well as advisors can also take a look at. We have information in terms of when it is time for a student to apply, as well as students can access us via live chat. So for example, we are in Teams pretty much most of the day, and the student can just log in here and it gives them instructions as to what they need to do to be able to get in to the chat with us. And they come right in and we can have a chat. We can either call them right through Teams and address whatever questions they may have. There's information here about the application. If they have a question about a glitch or some issues that they're having with the application for CUNY or SUNY, they can also check that here. They can explore the CUNY academic programs, SUNY academic programs as well. And if you scroll further down the page, we have different areas with corresponding information for students. So under the transfer box, we have our transfer timeline, and this is something that all students should be aware of. And there is also another version for faculty and staff, but this breaks it into credits or by semester, and it outlines what a student should be doing at each step of the way, whether it's 0 to 15 credits, they should be doing Focus 2, checking out our dual joint agreements and also our articulation agreements. It's all listed on the website. So they can browse through this, and it gives them a map as to what they should be doing along the way. Let's see, let me go back. We also have on the right side of the screen, the exploration area where students can view our online presentations. We've broken our presentation into two, where first-year students, 30 credits or less, can take a look at our Exploring Transfer PowerPoint, and it gives them all of the tips that they need to be successful in their first year in preparation for transferring. The second link covers the transfer process. So this is for a student that has 30 or more credits, and they're now getting ready to be able to start submitting their application. And then we have the general transfer overview that covers everything from nuts to bolts about transfer. And really, the transfer overview presentation it's the entire website packaged into a presentation. So it takes them all through our website. Also, if you have a student in a particular academy, we have academy-specific transfer overviews, and they can check those out. We have a couple of academy overviews coming up next week. I believe we have health-related sciences coming up, and liberal arts sciences is coming up as well. They can always check that information on our calendar of events. And if you have students that are not sure what to ask a college representative when they're either attending a college fair or even a college visit, we have a listing there of questions that they can complete, can print out and take with them so they can ask the pertinent questions about transfer. Also, for those of you who may see CUNY Justice Academy students, there's some information here as well. And just a quick note, the CJA students should have received an email on Monday, the ones that are transferring, that are graduating at the end of spring, with a notification for them to accept or share their intent to transition over to John Jay for the fall semester. So that went out on Monday. So if you have students that are scheduled to graduate in May or in the summer, please encourage them to check their email because that information is in there, and they should click on the link sooner than later because it takes about 6 to 8 weeks for them to be processed in the system and for John Jay to invite them to an orientation. There's also information here about the ACE program, and that the ACE program, it's the second part of ASAP. And so they could check this link. It will give them information about the schools, the four-year colleges that are now offering ACE, as well as the majors that fall under the ACE program. Unfortunately, for some schools, not all of the programs are open to ACE students, so they can check on that as well. We also have a listing of transfer scholarships, CUNY, SUNY scholarships, private scholarship information as well, and a link for students to check out the Writing Center, because they have a lot of information that can support students who need to complete an essay for scholarships. Then there's our calendar of events as well. And then we come on down to our tools, and this is really a helpful area for students and also for advisors. We give information about the transfer what if area in degree works. There's also information about TREX, and many of you have attended some of the TREX trainings that we've had in the past couple of semesters. And this is really helpful for a student to be able to get a sense of the equivalencies for the courses that they've completed at QCC or will be completing in the future. We also have the SUNY course equivalency tables. There's also a specific Baruch College Zicklin School of Business TREX, which is also listed here for students to take a look at. I'm going to scroll back up to the articulation agreements, because this is something that is very important for you to be able to be aware of. So if you're on this page, we have a description of what an articulation agreement is, so students can take a look at that. And then we also list the agreements based on the academies. There's one full listing of all of the agreements, and we have over 70 agreements listed on the website, as well as you can access the same information from the academy pages and the program pages. So I'm going to select one agreement just for you to take a quick look at. And if you have a student that is interested in, say, movement science, you and your student can take a look at this. It gives information about the program where the student can transfer to, which is York College, and the major that they will be completing and the degree. It gives them contact information at York, as well as a link to the college website for York, plus the effective date of the agreement and the scholarship information. You can see exactly how many credits will be granted towards a bachelor's degree from QCC and the additional credits that they will need to complete at York College. There's also information about the admissions requirements. So yes, this particular program, they would need to submit a CUNY application. They must complete the degree in movement science at QCC, minimum GPA. And for this program, no audition or portfolio is required. Then there's some additional notes about the program that the student must be aware of in order to take advantage of this agreement. As we scroll further down, you'll see the equivalency chart. So if the student is completing all of the program requirements on the left side of the screen for Queensborough, they will also be able to see the equivalent course at York and the credit that they will be receiving. If the student follows this outline, they will be completing the program requirement for QCC, as well as the program, the first 2 years program requirements for York College. So this is really a really good tool for students to have and to be able to review in terms of the program's requirements. For movement science, and many of the other agreements that we have, if there are additional agreement notes, we will put them on the bottom of the page. So as you can see, there's quite a few more notes that pertain to this agreement, so students can see how the courses they're taking here will apply. I just want to also highlight something here. So for example, in Flexible Core 2E, typically a student might be able to take anything that falls in that category. But for this particular program to York, this is the recommended course that the student would need to take. The student can go ahead and take whatever they want to take and not listen to the advice of the advisement team or our office or looking at the website, but they would need to be aware that when they get to York, if this course isn't completed, they will have to take it at York because it is a program requirement. And so a lot of the notations that is in these agreements, it's specific so that students will be aware of what they need to take in order to be able to take full advantage of the agreements. And with that being said, just want to share a reminder about the dual joint agreements. There are only 4, maybe 5 now under John Jay that students do not need to file an application. All of the other programs, if it's not a John Jay program, they have to file an agreement, because we're still seeing students who are sharing with us that they were told that they didn't need to file an agreement, file an application because it's a dual joint program. It is only true for John Jay that they don't file an application. I think I've covered everything. Ms. Madeira, would you like to add anything I might have missed?
Yes, really quickly. I want to say good morning to everyone. And I want to let you know that we do share with students information via Starfish. We find that they're not reading it, which is an issue for us. But all of our events are posted on the website, also through Starfish. We invite students to attend. So we'd appreciate your support in asking students to check out Starfish, open things from the Transfer Resource Center, because those things are important, especially deadline dates. We know that we tell our students, and we want to repeat to you, that colleges will accept applications beyond the priority deadline dates. However, Baruch is really pretty strict about this. So if you have any business students in their 3rd semester and they would like information about transferring, please send them to us so that we can assure that their applications will get in a timely fashion. Finally, reverse transfer. I just would like to say we've been seeing a lot of students who come in and want reverse transfer. That is an absolute last resort for our students, because even with TREX, we cannot guarantee that students are taking the equivalent courses that they should be taking, and they don't always transfer back. So we request that you consider, when you advise a student, not to say reverse transfer right away. You can send them to us, or what we do when you do send them to us is we recommend that they consider a summer or winter class, or that they consider an e-permit after working with us to make sure that they're taking the equivalent course. Data shows us that students who transfer to the 4-year college without their associate's degree often wind up with no degree at all, and we really don't want to see that happen. So we'd appreciate your support in that area as well.
Great, yeah. Thanks, Susan. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the reverse transfer. And the other thing that we find is that when they do the reverse transfer, they tend to forget to take the course that they need to graduate within the 1st semester when they transfer. And then it catches up with them when they're ready to graduate from the 4-year college. They're missing one of the college options, which would have been waived with their degree. And that's when they're finding out now, oh, I didn't complete that course. And the other thing that we like to remind you, and I know this is something that you encourage students to do early, is to complete their English and math requirements, especially the math requirements, because the math course, they need to have a grade of a C or better on their transcript at the time of submitting an application to a CUNY institution. Because if it's not on their transcript when they apply, it holds up their application until the grade is posted. So if they're looking for, transferring to Baruch, that can hold up their application from being completed in a timely manner. And I think that's it. Oh, thank you, everyone. Thanks, Will, for
No,
allowing, for giving us the time.
yeah, I mean, you saved me, so thank you. And it's always great to hear from the Transfer Resource Center.
Renee,
Yes.
Go
I
ahead,
see a
Lenny.
question from Ryan in the chat. What's the difference between an articulation agreement and a dual joint degree? Also, students tend to think that if we have an articulation agreement with another CUNY college, that they will take all of their credits.
Okay, so the articulation agreements and dual joint agreements, they're pretty much the same. It's just the change the name, the title. And the dual joint degree programs, we can no longer create those programs. The state issued and said that we can no longer do those agreements anymore for, I don't recall what the reason or rationale was. And so now with the articulation agreements that are coming forth, they're running or operating similarly like a dual joint agreement, but they can't use the terminology. So if a student completes the program with us as it is written, as you see it on the website, they are guaranteed receiving their credits to be applied towards their degree at the four-year college, as well as being accepted on junior status and junior level. So the second part of the question is students tend to think that if we have an articulation agreement with another CUNY college, that they will take all of their credits. Yes. And if you have a student that's having a difficult time with that, please let us know, because we have these agreements in place and they were signed off on. So if the college, a four-year college, is now making changes, we need to be aware of that so we can have our academic affairs division speak to the other college to find out and figure out what changed and why we weren't notified. If a student is in a program that is a dual joint agreement or has an articulation agreement, they can transfer wherever they decide after that. Let's say they're in a program with John Jay or with Queens College, and they've decided, well, I really don't want to go to John Jay because it's too far, I want to go to Queens. They can still transfer to Queens College. The difference now is when they get to Queens, they will still be able to accept their credits. What changes is the program requirements for for Queens College. If they were in criminal justice for John Jay and they're now going to Queens College for sociology, they may not get all of their courses being applied towards their degree. So that's something that they would have to take a look at. And criminal justice is very different from sociology, but that might be the closest major that they offer that might be able to accept and apply most of the credits towards their degree. Is there another message, another question?
Thanks,
No.
Renee. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, Brian.
And Renee, we can always do a follow-up because the transfer world is always changing. So
yeah, we have enough information to fit into an hour. Yeah, and questions that you have. Yeah.
Right. No, I know. And financial aid, that's the same case with them as well. I know Career Services will be doing something similar too. Okay. Well, moving on. Our next speaker is Stefan Spezio. And welcome, Stefan.
Thanks, everybody. I'm just going to share my screen, I think, too, just to kind of give you a bit of a tour of our services if you haven't had a chance to look through them recently. So just bear with me for 1 second. All right, everybody see the website, I believe it should pop up on your screens now. So basically the center, obviously, for people who have been with the college for several years, know that we've gone through a number of changes over the last several years. I started here in 2016. There was a writing center, there was an academic literacy learning center, there was a student learning center. Over the last several years, there's been a series of consolidations. First, the Writing Center and the Academic Literacy Learning Center. then the Writing Center and the Student Learning Center into what now is the Center for Tutoring and Academic Support. So as of right now, we provide tutoring for all or as many courses as possible. Really, it's about 130 different courses, subject-specific courses, as well as all kinds of writing prompts across the entire college. So we have about 45 tutors. They range from being some of them being very highly qualified QCC current students to people with actually we have one individual who has her PhD from SUNY Binghamton, and she's one of our English writing tutors, really tremendous. So we have a very wide range of sort of skills and abilities that are present in the center, but we also, in addition to what the skills the students and the tutors come with, we provide a pretty comprehensive training program. And that actually was highlighted recently. I don't know if you saw on March 13th, there was the Queensboro news, in the news newsletter. The Tutoring Center recently was accredited for its College Reading and Learning Association Level 1 International Tutor Training Program certification. And it's a lot of words and a lot of syllables, but basically what that means is that there was an external set of reviewers who reviewed our training program that we provide for all of our tutors, mandatory for them all to complete. And it was deemed to meet best practices by this organization that has literally hundreds, I think over 1,000 programs that have been reviewed by it, and that currently have one level of certification or another. We completed level 1. Each level is eligible for a 2-year renewal, and we're actually looking to go to a level 2, which involves additional training criteria in the summer of 24. So that'll be our plan. We just got the notification this past February, and campus president was very pleased. So we have that available on our website. People are curious, they can take a look and see what the CRLA, College Reading and Learning Association, is if they aren't familiar with it. In addition to our training, we provide basically a few different services. Starting in January of last year, we developed a space that we previously had available for general tutoring into what we call the Life Lab. The Life Lab is located, as you can see, in L105, and it is basically entirely focused on the biological sciences with a sort of an even closer focus on A&P 1 and 2. The reason for this basically is that of all of the disciplines that we do support, the A&P courses, as you can see in the pictures as they scroll through, they have the most kind of a heavy amount of models, materials, things like that. And so we dedicated an entire space to that. We have a few different workshops that take place specifically for Bio 301, because it is such a challenging course for students. We have a number of students, obviously, that are going for the nursing program, and that's kind of like the road to the nursing program in a lot of ways. So we have an adjunct faculty member named David Sacristano, who you see a picture of him right there, delivering one of his 301 workshops. He does that on a weekly basis. And we also have another one that's available on Wednesday during club hours. But students are able to, if they don't want a tutoring session or they don't want a workshop, they are able to go in and basically request use of the models and basically check them out. We're kind of a lending library in that sense, where students can meet individually, or they can and take out microscopes, various things like that, or they can meet in small groups and work together collaboratively, which we always encourage. So that's one space that we have available in addition to our regular tutoring space, which is where the sort of the quote unquote old writing center used to be, which is L113. So that's the L113 is the main tutoring space. And L105 is a former learning center, student learning center space that we've attributed or specifically to biology. The other space that we had available, which is L115, we have functionally turned into a student study lounge. So has been the talk since we've returned to campus, and kind of knew this somewhat beforehand. students didn't really have many places to go and be able to work either individually or collaboratively. Just study groups, various kind of project groups for various classes. So we took one of our spaces and we made it into a space for students to just kind of sit and work. And it kind of started off honestly word of mouth, and but now it's a pretty well trafficked area. Fortunately, we've had very good experiences. Students are respectful of each other. Sometimes students are studying on their own. Sometimes students are meeting as a group of between I've seen as few as 2. I've seen as many as 8. Working together. Usually, it is a science course that's being discussed or reviewed. And we also see students who have their own laptop or perhaps even a tablet, and they sometimes, if they are on campus for a class, if they have a online class or a hybrid class that's meeting online, they will come to the space, plug in headphones, and then they'll take the class virtually from that space as well. So there's the main tutoring space in 113, there's 105, which is the Life Lab, and then there's also 115, which is the student study area. In addition to the spaces and sort of how they function, we have, again, the tutoring that's available. Students are able to make an appointment, either a one-time or a weekly recurring appointment. All sessions are obviously every time that we're open, tutoring is available Monday through Friday, either in person or virtually. We are open on Saturdays, but for Saturdays, since we've come back from being closed for the pandemic, Saturdays are virtual tutoring only. Students are able to look at the list of courses that we support, and also we provide resources for students to review on their own. This was actually put together by tutors, subject faculty, and also librarians from QCC. So they basically vetted all of these resources. So if students are looking for help, rather than going to Google and just typing in like random terminology and finding the kitchen sink, they're able to access information that's legitimately academic and appropriate through our website. So we try to make kind of like a one-stop shop. They also can see here, as well as you can, every course that we do support. Because of budgetary cuts, and I'm sure we're all tired of hearing budgetary cuts, we've really had to prioritize the courses that we support in terms of hiring. And so the way that we're doing that right now is we're looking basically by enrollment at the approximately the top 50 courses by enrollment that the college has. And if a tutor is able to tutor one of those courses and we see a perceived need, we will begin the process, and they're qualified, we will begin the process of hiring them. If they happen to be able to tutor courses that are outside of that, let's say, top 50 cohort of courses, that's basically bonus, and that's kind of gravy on top. That's wonderful. But if someone is teaching, is only able to tutor a very, very kind of high level or not, very highly enrolled course, right now we will not be entertaining applications for kind of, to a certain extent, like niche courses like that. If they're included with someone who could do a major course, then that's great. But as of right now, it's about 130 specific courses that we do provide across a number of different disciplines. Obviously not math, because that's the Math Learning Center, and that's Elizabeth Nersessian, but we do provide a good amount of assistance for students in that way, as well as, again, additionally, all writing prompts, and that crosses all disciplines. So we work with ET, history, science, obviously English, sociology, criminology, any kind of a discipline that requires some kind of writing assessment, we can provide assistance for that. Again, for our A&P, because our A&P, basically our breakdowns since we emerged, are pretty standard at this point. English 101 tends to be the single largest course that we receive students from in terms of seeking help or assistance. but 301, 302 are right behind that. And because they're very technical, these are actually recordings of all of David Sacristano's workshops, excuse me, from when we were virtual, and those are, again, reference materials that students are able to use at any time. They basically take you to a YouTube platform, and they're able to watch the videos then and there. We have links for writing. We have you also have the Tiger Right submission. So this is an app that was developed, excuse me, by a developer. This is going back on a grant that the center had received several years before my arrival, but it was basically our first kind of foray into online tutoring. And what this is not live tutoring. That obviously we use Blackboard Collaborate for all synchronous tutoring sessions. This is an online paper exchange where a student is able to log in using their QCC ID information. They're able to upload a draft of their paper if they actually have one. If they don't, if they're looking for just sort of information about how to start, they can upload the writing prompt itself. And then basically we say 48 hours as a turnaround time, because usually we have to account for Saturdays to Sundays, because we're not open on we're not Saturdays to Mondays because we're not open on Sundays. But generally the turnaround time is more like 24 to 36 hours. And it's written feedback, it's suggestions and sort of the questions. It's not, this is not, we always talk about with writing specifically, it's not an editing service. We don't like proofread and correct things. We identify what are called patterns of error, and then we provide feedback about how to fix those patterns and improve things like organization, making sure that the writing assignment is actually answering the question and the prompt in the correct way. So these are the different resources that we have available. Currently, we provide a series of workshops as well. So we provide writing conversation hours for students who are self-identified as English language learners. Those are available at different times. We actually have flyers with QR codes right in the center. They're able to receive those and download those. We also have basically kind of grammar groups that focus on certain grammatical, very commonly confused or misused grammatical concepts. And then this sort of opens up into a kind of a free-for-all where students can then ask a question about a specific grammatical concept. There's one that's kind of presented, and then it kind of opens up after that. Although those events take place in person, we've actually seen a dramatic shift in the last year and a half. Everybody who is tutoring at any time except for Saturdays is available online, right, as well as in person. But so when we first came back, we saw a significant number of online sessions, and that has basically flip-flopped. So basically right now we saw in fall 22, we saw about a 300% increase in our on-campus tutoring sessions relative to a similar decrease in our online sessions. So students that are seeking out tutoring, for the most part, if possible, they are seeming to prefer to come on campus and get tutoring face to face. So that's what we found to be the most desirable on their end. So that's basically kind of an overview. We obviously use Starfish. We're available. We have learning specialists in the area that manage all of our Starfish referrals, either from you all or from faculty. We do outreach multiple times a semester. We do phone call campaigns twice a semester. We do try to close those referrals with having the student come into the center to receive assistance for any sort of academic concerns they might be presenting either to you or to the faculty. And they also can self refer at this point as well. So we always follow up with everyone. And that's basically the overview of what we have going on in the center this semester. Are there any questions or?
I'd like to add, Stefan. Stefan and the department also does. You guys could do customized workshops and and work with different student groups. You guys have that flexibility.
Well, yeah, we
And,
do. I mean, to be honest, though, the challenge with the customized workshops we used to have a much larger. I mean, we have the workshops written out. We don't offer them, frankly, as much because unless faculty or a program is specifically encouraging, promoting, or even
Right.
so much as requiring students to attend them, it usually ends up being like a very low return on investment in terms of time. So we would
Sure.
have either rooms or personnel reserved
Mhm.
for like an hour or two at a time, and we would
Right.
get a very small number. So we do have them available. We actually have a program that we are kind of launching this semester. It's called Don't Cancel That Class, and basically it's being pitched at faculty members who if they are unable to if they're going to a conference, if they have a planned leave of some kind in the middle of the semester, if they're not able to get coverage, if their chair can't find coverage for them, they can actually contact us, and we will go and deliver a workshop during the class time, so that something of an academically valid and related nature takes place during that class meeting, as opposed to just canceling it, because
Right.
as
Right.
we all know, like, if students get out of a rhythm of going to class, it's very easy for them to stay out of rhythm. So we figure let's provide them an opportunity to get something that might be beneficial, whether it's time management, whether it's test taking strategies, studying techniques that are maybe kind of help improve learning outcomes. We provide those in class should a student not be able, or a faculty member should not be able to attend class. So yeah.
Right. And then yeah, that'll be helpful for our project with probation students as well. So that's all in the works when we're working with probation students and trying to increase resources and their retention during those efforts. So thank you so much, Stefan. I really appreciate it. Any questions for him?
Okay, I'll stop sharing. Thanks. All right.
Okay. Let's see here. Just looking at the schedule here. Okay. Is Gisela here?
I
Hi,
am
Gisela.
here.
Good morning.
I am here. How's everyone doing today? Happy Friday, everybody. I know there are folks out there. I know there are folks out there. Happy Friday to everybody. So,
Good morning.
good morning. Good morning. I am tasked with speaking about the Office of Student Activities today. So I'm thinking I'll just talk and then give an opportunity for everyone to, ask questions, and maybe we could have some good dialogue. So the Office of Student Activities, how many of you have been in the Student Union building this semester? I know Jamal was here earlier, so I know
I
at least
have
one person.
Edna Spencer.
Yes. It is,
Academic.
yeah, the students are back. I don't know if you guys have in your spaces, if it's as boisterous and as exciting as it is in my building, but right now we have the billiards is open right now, and so the students are having a pool game, and so if you hear any loud noises, it's coming from there. So the Office of Student Activities, we are located in the Student Union building, lower level, and we're open Monday through Friday. Monday through Thursday, we're open 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. And on Fridays, we're here from 9 to 5. We would love to see, each and every one of you come over and say hi, and just come by and visit. So the Student Union building, we have the lower level is pretty much occupied from that 9 to 7 Monday through Thursday, 9 to 5 on Fridays. We have available for students here some really awesome things. We have the free billiards, but that's on a schedule. So there's a schedule posted every day of when the tables will be available. We have games, Monopoly, cards, dominoes, chess. We've seen a lot of students playing chess. Students can come and borrow a set. They can utilize here in the Student Union building. We have also 2 microwaves available for students who want to bring their food. located here, along with like a kitchen area with a sink. We've got vending machines here in the building. We have computers. We have a printer as well. Oftentimes, though, I do not see students really doing work. It's more sort of like watching videos or watching TV shows on the computers here. We have the lounge space, which is open to students, and students can sit and study, or they can sit and talk to other folks, or they can attend their class virtually from here as long as they're not bothered by the noise level. We also have a meditation room. The meditation room is available to students, and generally, though, it's used in large measure by our Muslim students for prayer, especially right now. Ramadan has just started, so if you come across any students who are looking for a place to pray, we have the meditation room is available. It was recently renovated, and we can have up to 10 students at the same time within that space. And coming soon, it's almost finished, probably right after spring break, we're going to have a wudu station as well, where we have 2 rooms where students would be able to do the cleaning that's required to be done before prayer. So basically, that's a lot of what we have here in the Student Union Center. Does anybody have any questions about the Student Union building?
Where's the new construction for the resource center?
Excellent question. So the Men's Resource Center is being built as we speak in the lounge level where usually events are held. I walked through the lounge this morning. It looks as if walls have gone up, and that space probably will be finished in not too far in the future. I believe there are a lot of things that are going to be finished. A lot of projects are going to be finished in this building during spring break. So when we come back, it'll look different. No other questions about the Student Union building? Keep going. I'll keep going.
Yes, please, please.
I keep going. I'll keep going. All right. So another big aspect of what we do is to work with the student government on campus. So when we have a full board, we have 10 student government officers. We have 20 student senators. We have students that serve on the faculty student disciplinary committee. We have several committees, including the allocation committee, the ratification committee, and the judicial board. So when we're full, when we have all our students, we're talking about a large proportion of students who participate in student leadership, not to mention the 3 officers for each of the student groups on campus. Our students here at Queensborough are pretty awesome and amazing, and I find that when they commit to participating in leadership, they participate in multiple things, not just one thing. So we're always on the lookout for students who are interested in gaining that experience. Participating in leadership helps to build a resume. I've seen student treasurers, student government treasurers list their responsibilities, and the reality of it is that they're learning so much, whether it's public speaking, organizational skills, working on teams, really gaining those skills that will set them apart for when they graduate from here and go to another school, or when they start to look for work. Experience with technology, all of those things can be done through student government, and it's particularly wonderful for students who, for whatever reason, are unable to work out off campus to gain that sort of professional experience. We are right now at the beginning of our election season. So the elections are going to be from April 19th through the 26th. The election students will all receive an email with their ballot. Right now, we're recruiting officers to run in the election. So we are on the lookout for students who have completed at least 12 credits or equated credits, a CUME GPA of at least 2.25, and students who are planning to be here all next year. Any students that are interested can absolutely reach out to either myself or to Ray Volel, and I'll add my email and his email to the chat after I finish. But most definitely, we are looking for students. And if you're thinking of someone right now, if you don't mind, send them an email, ask them to contact us, or if you like, send me an email with their information, their email information. I'd be happy to reach out to them. Any questions about the elections? I talk fast. You guys don't have any questions? I'll keep going. I'm the no, nobody has question.
No,
It's all
please
good.
share. Please
It's all
share.
good. It's all good.
We have some time, so it's okay. Please share.
All right, very good. And so then as far as student groups and organizations, so the past couple of years have been very difficult for groups. Groups have had issues in finding officers, getting their stuff together. But this semester, so far so good. I'm knocking on wood. We've got, I believe, 15 confirmed. We've got another 5, 6 groups that are in the pipeline to be ratified by the ratification committee, and they're getting budgets. So if you come across students who are interested in becoming active in different student groups, please refer them to the website under student life. There's a student activities page. It has the names of all the different clubs, their sort of their mission and contact information for the advisor. During the semester, all of the clubs are required to submit their events to us, and we put those events on the website. So if you look at the website right now, you'll see that there are events from Phi Theta Kappa, there are events from the MSA, there are events from, I believe, student government, the Black Student Union. So you would be able to find events available there through the events link on the website. So in large measure, a lot of what we do with students on campus is sort of an ongoing process, and we are sort of rebuilding things. This semester, I can tell you that we've been recently given an ability to purchase a student engagement platform. So for any special programs that are here, hopefully by the fall, we'll be able to go ahead and to share access to that platform so that individual groups will be able to communicate with their students through the platform. The platform allows you to send mass emails to everyone who's registered within your group. And we'll be looking at that for the future. Is there anything else specific, William, that you would like me to talk about?
Not actually. I do have a question. So when
Great.
we're talking, it's interesting that you bring up the platform.
Mhm.
How has the attendance or student engagement been with your events, as far as student activities, student government? How's the turnout been?
Well, I think it's sort of it's interesting. The Wednesdays, we do have a lot of things going on. So when we schedule events on Wednesdays, they're not as well attended as maybe a Tuesday or Thursday. Um, the student clubs are indicating for in some measure that they're seeing, less than 12 sometimes for their meetings. I know that there are a lot of students on campus that maybe are not participating in things. Once we have the student engagement platform, we'll be better able to track the number of people that are going to individual events and meetings. But for the most part, what I'm encouraging everyone to do is to put events and activities where the students are. The
Right.
students, to not the high traffic areas, place events there. S111, S112, the quad, outdoor events are more successful right now than the indoor events.
Gotcha.
But if anyone has an idea or an event that they're planning and they need a little bit of feedback or maybe some ideas, definitely, reach out to either Ray or myself, and we'd be happy to discuss that with you. But yeah, as far as the activity level, I know when you asked that question, I thought immediately of the students in the student union building. It's sometimes there's no room for folks to sit. So I know that at least they are participating in the student union building.
Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And weather permitting, and you always have to have food.
Food always is valuable, and we're very thankful to the food trucks that have been able to come out to campus and food services on campus to make sure that we have those things. And
Right.
Renee has a
Another-
question.
Sure.
Hi, Gisela. That was,
Hey.
thank you for that. That's a lot of information. I have a question for you. What is the name of the student engagement platform? That's the first
It's called
question.
Presence.
Presence. Okay, great. And
Presence.
presence.
And I'm trying to figure out conditional logic and how to create this platform. If anybody here has any experience with presence or is interested in helping me figure out conditional logic, I am down for the help.
And the other thing, I know this might be super early because we're already thinking about the fall transfer fair and looking at dates. So we're looking at September, tentatively, September 13th. It's a Wednesday, and kind of trying to figure out the logistics of where to do this fair, because I know the student union is going to look a lot different after the spring. So also, when are you planning to do the welcome back fair event and also the club fair? So
Yeah,
just kind of
we
putting
need
it
to
out there.
coordinate. Yeah, we need to
Yeah.
coordinate with with Belladine and with Karen
Okay.
and planning. I know that normally that first week there are events and activities, and for the past few semesters, student government has chosen to do sort of like a welcome activity the first week, and then
Okay.
potentially club fair the second or third week. So I guess we'll have a conversation and we'll figure out.
Yeah.
You know, I haven't gotten an allocation for that just yet, so we have to work out those details. But most definitely, it's busy. As far as scheduling an event of that nature, the transfer fair is very specific. How many tables do you anticipate you would need to have?
Right now, we're looking at maybe 30, no more than 30 tables, because we're trying to narrow it down, knowing that space is going to be an issue
Yeah,
in terms of being able to do
yeah,
it. Because we typically would have about 60 tables, but things have changed in terms of the pandemic and just logistically with space on campus. So we're
yeah.
targeting, yeah.
I mean, it just to you know, put it out there in the universe. I don't know whether or not these spaces would be available, but the gymnasium is a very large space and can house a lot of tables. And I know that we've had events in there in the past. You would have to coordinate with health services to see whether or not they would be open to having people walking on their floors.
Right.
I think there's a tarp that was brought out the last time, sort of like to cover
Mhm.
the floors for the basketball players. Um, and then you also have the track and field, and you have the quad, sort of larger spaces.
Right.
Um,
I
but the
just have to make
student,
sure we have a rain date.
yeah,
Yeah.
I would encourage you though to check in with, as you get closer to the date, check in with public safety as to the number of tables that you're going to be allowed to have in that space, because I don't know what the capacity will be
Right.
once
Okay.
the men's center is completed. But that doesn't mean it can't be done. Just we need to be
Yeah.
creative, right? Whether you
Right.
use the indoor and the outdoor, like you can do a certain
Mhm.
number of tables inside and a certain number of tables outside, and you arrive late for the transfer fair, you're standing outside, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And so we'll coordinate because I don't want to have competing events. I don't want to have, the club fair happening at the same time as the
Yeah.
transfer
I always
fair.
look at the college calendar because
Yeah.
there's been several times where if we're scheduling an event, then we look and someone else is doing something similar, and it's like, so it's better to
It's
coordinate.
difficult, you know, like if you look at the semester is almost over. And
Right.
right now I'm working with the student government to find a date to have an interfaith discussion. Very important thing to have this timely topic. If you look at the number of weeks, we have basically like 3 to 4 weeks, and there is a big event occurring every single Wednesday between now and the last day. And in addition to that, you know, award ceremonies and various other events and activities. So there are a
Right.
lot of really great things going on.
Right.
It's
Right.
hard. It's
And you
really
guys have been
difficult.
doing a lot on social media too. I see a lot of the SGA. I think they did a
Aren't they
video.
adorable?
They did a video the other day really showing the office, and they
Yeah,
showed all the perks. It was, like one of those comedy satires. But that
yeah.
was good. It's come a long way. Is there any other questions? We do have some time in between speakers now. So if anyone has any announcements from special programs or if anyone wants to give a quick highlight about one of their programs, please feel free, raise your hand, and we've got probably about, I'd say, 7 or 8 minutes till the next speaker. But if not, we can move on to the next one. And thank you so much, Gisela. Do you have anything else you'd like to add, or you think you have
Just
everything?
you know, I encourage everyone to stop by, and I hope I see everyone, and take care, be well.
Great. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Bye-bye.
Okay. All right. Just hold on. Our next speaker just arrived. But does anyone have any updates or anything quick that they want to mention? If not, then, we can move on to Sandra. Hi.
Hi. Am I able to share the screen well?
Yeah, go ahead. Just dive right in.
Great. Okay. All right, let me just get us to Office of Career Service. All right, so good morning, everyone. I always feel like I'm speaking into a black hole. It's so weird when we're all on Zoom, but as most of you know, I'm Sandra Williams Strauss. I'm representing the Office of Career Services today. We're a small office. As you know, we have our director, Connie Peluso, 2 full-time career advisors, including myself, and Denise Olson, our internship person. She has a long title, but I won't say it, but she works with students with internships. We have a person, Stereo Nika, who's actually a graduate. He graduated in 2016, then he went on to a big career in media, but he wanted to switch careers. And he's with us. We have him like a third of the time. You may know him because he is the liaison for the IIT apprenticeship program. And if you put that in our search bar, the curriculum comes up. If you want to know more about that for your IIT students, just reach out to Stereo. It's Stereo Nika. And we have our secretary and our college assistant. Today, because we have such a short amount of time, I really want to focus on our career tech tools. That includes 2 new platforms that we got last summer. So just a quick overview of these tech tools. We're going to start with, well, first, you know what? Let me just show you the website a little bit. So, Will, can everyone see the screen clearly?
Yeah, and Sandra, don't feel pressed for time. We have a little extra time because financial aid had to opt out of this. So we have
Oh,
extra
that's
time.
great. That's
Yeah,
perfect. All right, that gives me a little bit more time. You know what, let me
please.
stop sharing for a minute so you can see my face. So let me just say what everyone does in our office and what the services we provide since we have a little extra time. You know, we provide students with the opportunity to develop themselves in terms of their career, so the career development piece. And we're not the only ones on campus that do that. Really, that's everyone's job, but that's our primary mission. That includes providing career advisement, which I am the main person who does that, but also Stereo helps with that. Informing students about the internship process, worthwhile internships. And I should mention, you probably know this already, but after what happened to Mr. George Floyd, the country woke up, most internships are now paid. That was the big change that happened in the world of careers and students getting internships. Most internships are paid, which is fantastic, and they're usually paid pretty well. So we help them with that process, guiding them through that process. Some departments do still offer the opportunity for students to do an internship for credit, which is called cooperative education. Not all departments, but some. The person who students should speak to about that is Miss Denise Olson. She's our experiential learning coordinator. And then we also teach students about their resumes and cover letters, all that good stuff. So just that quick review. So let me just share the screen again and go into our website. So our website, one of the things that's been happening since the pandemic, unfortunately, is that we have people, a lot of scammers, who try to convince students that they are employers. It's awful, and they really want to get into their bank accounts. So encourage students when they look at this website to read these articles. You may want to read them yourself so you don't get scammed. I'm just exhausted from the scammers. We're all getting these messages on our emails and even texted to us, but it's good to be armed with information, and we're trying to prepare students so they understand that if it sounds too good to be true, the job is too good to be true, and it's not real. So have them read these articles. On our website, under student resources, these are links to lots of great platforms and information. There's just a wealth of information in here. Underneath this big handshake symbol or icon, every week we're posting new opportunities for students, job opportunities, information sessions that organizations are hosting, job fairs that are taking place in the area, and internship opportunities, and also on-campus jobs. When people on campus have job opportunities, they'll let us know. We'll post them here, and we'll also post them in Handshake, which I'll tell you a little bit about in a minute. And then we have volunteer opportunities, career exploration sites. I'll just point out very quickly: Learn Psychology, Explore Health Careers, Career Girls, which isn't just for women. Just a wealth of information. And one of my favorites, A Day's Work. I don't know if you guys know, but New York City has its own television station, and they produced this series about people in the arts who work in New York City. That was before the pandemic. They're supposed to have a part 2. It's just one of the best series I've ever seen about the arts. Underneath, we have some student profiles. They're a little old, but these are really dynamic students. I know John went on to Baruch. Jessica now works for a state senator, and Julio is supposed to be going on to med school. You probably all know Julio, remember him. So let me get on to the tech tools portion, because that's really the big change this year. We've always used technology, but career services in general has moved into that world completely. And we still have our career exploration tools. So if you go under Choose the Right Program of Study and Career Path, you'll find Good Old Focus 2, which those of you who have been here for a while, you know most students touch that in ST100. The freshmen, unfortunately, transfers don't get a chance to do that. I hope that changes in the future. And it's a career guidance platform that we've used since 2009. It's self-guided career assessments. It helps students with their career planning. And what I love about it is that it aligns students' data with the programs of study that we have on campus. So you could direct them to that, but I really want to show you Career Coach. Some of you probably have noticed that throughout our web pages and the college's website, especially on the pages that have all the majors and the department pages, there's this new look to the pages. And that is because the college purchased a platform by a company called Lightcast, and they're a data-driven company. And part of that package was a career assessment tool. And it's really great because if I click in, you could see, I hope that students have 3 options. They could do a 6 question, which takes no time, 30 questions, or 60. They all will give them an assessment that provides the REASEC or the Holland code. And Career Coach also does what Focus 2 does, where it aligns the student's data with our programs of study. So it's an incredibly powerful tool. We encourage the students to do the 60 question, because what happens at the end of that, students will end up getting a booklet that is geared to them. It's unique to them. It has their REASEC, and then it gives them options for specific majors that they can go into. So I really like Career Coach, especially if you have a student who's like, I don't have a lot of time. They could do the 6 question assessment. That doesn't take any time at all. The other thing that I want to show you is something we've had for a while, and I love it. One of my favorites. I'm gonna log into this one, and students can actually log in to this. They have to use their QCC email. They can't use their personal email. It has to be their QCC email. Let me just remember my password. It's all these passwords. We all have a million passwords. All right. There we go. So this platform used to be called Virtual Job Shadow. I don't know what happened this past summer. All these companies decided that they needed to change their names, but they're now known as Pathful Explorer, which is a mouthful, but it's the same platform. It's a platform that houses thousands of career videos, and I just love it. It's my favorite tool to use with students. I like to use it in conjunction with either Focus 2 or Career Coach, because it really shows students exactly what a career is like. So let me get up here. You go into careers, you hit Career Central, and now we're in the actual platform. I like to filter by cluster because they've clustered all the videos by industry, and they give all the industries have their own mini video about the industry itself, and then it gets into the careers. So if I go into, say, health science, which we know is super popular, you could see that there are just, it's just loaded with videos. And I'm just going to pick one so you can get an idea of what it looks like. So they'll have someone that they're focusing on, a professional person, and there's a main video that'll be 3 to 4 minutes long. Underneath the main video, the professional will answer questions on a video. These will be about 30 seconds long, and they just go more in depth about what they do. On the left side of the page, it gets into a career description. It tells students what they actually do each day, where they work, and maybe what the workday is like. Required education, what kind of certificates or licenses are needed, the earnings. Students always want to know, of course, what the earnings are. And in most of the career profiles, it'll break it down by state. So you could change the state and see what the earnings will be. And that's really helpful. It gives you a future outlook so students can focus on what the growth is going to be like. And then additional links, professional associations, which colleges offer the program, and jobs and internships. So I really love using this with students because they're watching dynamic videos that show them what it would be like to be in that career. So you can encourage them to do that as well. So now let's go back to my next one that I really want to get to. We have so much stuff to show you in terms of tech tools. Oh, another one that changed, writing the resume. So some of you may have known that we had something called Optimal Resume. We had it for years, but they let us know that they were changing their platform. They were going to be using AI and building that into their tool. So now they've changed the name. It's called Skills First. There's a video that we encourage students to watch first because it's very different from the old Optimal Resume platform. I just want to show you how people can log in because it might be confusing for students. This is if you've already created an account. If you haven't, you have to go here under the blue box where it says sign in. You would go into students, alumni, faculty, and staff, click here to join, fill out the fields, and then you can join. So what we encourage students to do with this is to either make a one-to-one appointment with us, or they can join a resume office hour, which we provide weekly. And I'll show you how to join that. I'm going to get out of Skills First and Pathfill Explorer because I really want to focus on the biggie, which is Handshake. You guys are probably sick of hearing about Handshake. You probably see our big sign that we have outside of our office, but it's a pretty big deal for us. It's a career management system. It helps us tremendously with students making appointments and keeping data. But the best thing is, and I'm going to go into Handshake so I can show you, and all of you can join if you want to. The best thing about it is that it allows students to connect with employers. It allows students to search for jobs, internships, volunteer positions, and of course, they can seek us out as well. So I'm just going to show you the platform a little bit. So Handshake, I should just mention, is the #1 career management tool in the United States. Most colleges are using it. We're probably one of the first CUNYs to use it. I know also Baruch has it. I feel very blessed that we have it because it's making life a lot easier for us. And the students who use it like it, they can also download a mobile app, which makes it easy since most of them are using their phones for everything. So up here in the top right-hand corner, once someone joins, their initials are here. And under their initials, you'll see that you have a profile and there's different settings. I'm going to click into my profile. And you can think of this as like baby LinkedIn. That's what I call Handshake, baby LinkedIn. For students who don't have a LinkedIn account yet, this is a good way to dip their toe into professional networking and communicating with employers. So I have to say, I haven't done a good job. My profile is only 15% complete, which is not good, but I'm feeling a little uncertain about what to put in my profile because I'm kind of making stuff up. I'm pretending to be a student and I'm using some of my son's information. So I need to finish it because it's very important that students complete the profile 100%, because what that does is the data that's put in to their profile is going to then have jobs and internships pushed to them based on that data. And everyone's landing page, if I go back to the landing page, is going to be different. Let me just show you. So like this is based on me. It's saying based on the job roles you're interested in. So this is based on what I've put into my profile so far and my search activity. And so if you guys had your own Handshake page, which you can do, you can be a student in Handshake, you would notice, well, you're going to have jobs that are pushed to you based on what you've inputted. It's going to be different than anyone else's. So that's the really cool thing about it. It's all AI driven. So I'm going back to my profile. So students can also upload their resume, but we encourage them to make sure that they work with us first before they do that so that the resume is perfect. We don't want them to put up a resume that's not in good shape. And then you could see that like under job hunt, it's asking me, am I currently looking for a job? It asked me what I was looking for. I said internships and full-time jobs. What cities? I put down a bunch of cities. What kind of roles are interesting to me? So then it's putting information, pushing it towards me based on that data that I've put in there. But I really do need to finish it. So that's something that I have to do. Let me also show you, students can, like I said, search for jobs. So if I click into jobs, you'll see that jobs come up. I'm going to actually put in our QCC page. We have our own QCC on-campus job page. And you'll see, let's see what happens. So here we go. So I know that Scott Belter has given me jobs to put up for the Tiger Advisors, CTAS. We've put up a lot of positions on campus. And right now, this is the Male Resource Center. Jamal wanted us to include this. So this is nice for the students. This way they can see what's on campus if they just put in the search bar QCC on campus. Let me go back. I want to show you here. There are events and messages from employers. So sometimes an employer, like say Disney, will host an event. Anyone can join that. So students, when they come to their landing page, they can join all these opportunities. They can see what's going on. Is there an event about a particular company or organization, a remote event that they can join? It allows them to do that. And then we have our own page. So on Handshake, every college has their own career center. Students can get to it this way, upper right-hand corner, or here where it says CUNY Queensborough Community College Career Center. On the mobile app, I should mention, it looks very different. Handshake looks totally different. On the mobile app, all of these links are on the bottom of the phone, of the page. So, but students get used to that very quickly. All right, so let me click in. So this is our Handshake office, so to speak, career office in Handshake. And this is where students can find our resume office hours. These are our events. So if I click in where it says resume office hour, they'll be able to see that they can register for them if they want. They don't have to, but it's nice if they do. And I'm going to show you, if I click show more, it's a Blackboard link, because what we do is we have a Blackboard room, much like you guys have your room, and students can pop in. The resume office hours are on Mondays at 11 and Thursdays at 4. Now, the other thing is the appointments. What's nice is that students no longer have to come to the office to make an appointment. They just click into appointments. And now there's only one option, schedule a new appointment. So you click into that blue box. And now the option is all students. Now they can see the different types of appointments that they can select from. So if it's career advisement or internship or resume, they would decide here. I'm just going to say resume review, cover letter, because all of us, we each do those. And one of the things that students have to do is they can pick a staff member if they want to. If they don't care, it says no preference. But say they know they want to meet with Miss Olson because it's a resume for an internship, they can pick Miss Olson. And then you can see everything in blue, that's when she's available for next week. If I click into the date, say it's Monday, they can see, oh, she has these 2 openings, and they can click in. And the other thing that they can do is they can decide how do I want to meet. They can pick their appointment medium. Handshake is great because they have sort of a Zoom feature. So they can ask to have a meeting that way or on the phone, or they can even ask to meet with us in person. They can put that in a note if they want. So that's a very, very quick tour of Handshake. If any of you are interested in having a Handshake account like a student, you can just use your QCC email, and then our secretary, Miss Judith Burke Mustafa, she will get your request and she'll get back to you. It's really simple. I'm going to log out of that. Let me just go back to the career services page. Let me just see if there's anything else I want to mention. I think that's it. Very quick, very quick. I'm going to stop sharing. Those are the big tech tools. I hope that gives you guys a quick overview. If you have questions, if you ever want me to meet with you about any of them, or if you want us to go more in depth, I could do that, and show people how to use the tools more effectively.
Sure. In the meantime, does anyone have any questions? I think Betty posted something.
What's Betty's question? Oh, thanks, Betty.
Okay.
Anything else? Okay, that's it. I mean, unless you guys needed any more information, you know where to find me, Career Services L429.
Thank you so much.
Thanks very much. I'll see you guys. Bye.
Bye. Okay, so we are shifting again with scheduling. So wanted to know if either Bonnie or Doreen would be able to jump on now.
Hi, Will. I can jump on now, but
Please do.
if you would like.
Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Basically, graduation audit, what we do, we review students' academic records to determine whether they have met the requirements for graduation. That's what we do. So at Queensborough, students don't apply for graduation as some of the other colleges do. What happens is students can self-identify by sending an email to gradaudit@qcc.cuny.edu. But after registration is over and adjustments are made, after the fax freeze date, graduation audit runs a report to find the students who have 60 credits towards their program of study. That is very important because some students change their major quite often. They may have a lot of credits, but that doesn't mean they have the courses towards their program of study. So they have to have at least be registered for the final credits towards that program of study. have 60 credits, a GPA of a 1.9 or higher, and have met the 30 credit residency requirements. Those students then are reviewed during the semester. So we put in an application for them, we move to review. They're reviewed during the semester. If everything is okay, they go into okay pending final grades. And then after final grades are posted. After final grades are posted, we review for final grades. This whole process occurs, it takes at least a month or so to do so because some students have e-permits and those grades have to be posted at the other campus, and then it gets imported to QCC. It's a involved process. So that's basically what we do with graduation audit. The students can look at the DegreeWorks online audit. It will tell them pretty much if everything is okay, yes or no, and they can see where they stand. That's basically it. A lot of students, unfortunately, especially this past fall, either failed a course or ended up with an INC grade, incomplete. When that happens, they can't graduate in that semester. Some of them completed because it's according to our policy, they have all of the spring semester in which to complete it. Some of them completed and they let us know, and some of them don't complete it and it goes to a fin. So that's basically it. I don't know if you have any questions for me, but that's the process.
Doreen, when do you get the report when you audit for, students who are, need adjustments?
What do you mean when you say need adjustments?
Well, with the degree audits, so ones that might maybe need credit adjustments is what I'm saying.
Okay, so it depends on what point registration is over. We try to see if students, all the courses they're taking are applying towards their degree. That's a different report than finding the candidates for graduation. And sometimes a lot of our students, for whatever reason, take courses that don't apply to their program of study. I don't know why they do it. I suspect they do it for a myriad of reasons, but then they want the course to apply to the audit, and then we have to look and see whether it can be done. In many cases, it cannot be done because they're taking something that does not apply to their program of study.
Right. Okay. No, because it was, I had a case the other day where one of the credits was a fall through, but it could be applied to the free electives. So it's like one credit that just needs to be applied from the fall through, and it would fit. I'm just curious as far as, when you guys look at that. But thank you for that.
So if you have a student like that, you could always email me with the ID number, and we could take a look, and an adjustment can be made if it's doable.
You know what? I will do that. Because usually what I tell the student is that you guys get the audit and you automatically do it, or you do your own outreach to the students, is what I've been telling the students. So
we do if it's warranted, but most of the time we don't interact with the student unless there is a problem. What we do in graduation audit is we look at data. Where our interaction with students is minimal.
Okay.
We look at data, and unless there is a particular issue, we do not interact with the students.
Right. Okay. All right.
So if you find something, you have a student that you're concerned about, send an email to gradaudit@qcc.cuny.edu and let us know.
Great. That's helpful. Thank you. Jeffrey, you have a question?
I just wanted to say, like, my best practice is every time that I meet with a student, I just like look over their audit, especially like during registration. If they've enrolled, I'll just take a quick look to see whether the classes they've chosen fit into their degree. And if there's any sort of irregularity, then I'll reach out to Doreen saying like, oh, like this class is counting in like program core where it could go into like US experiences, and like that could maximize the use of credits that may have been falling through. But I know my caseload tends to be on the small side, so I guess I can maybe afford to do that, but that's just that's how I handle it.
Right. Thank you, Jeffrey. Matthew?
Hi, Doreen. It's Matt Conkel. I just wanted to say I thank you. I've emailed you countless times over the years, and all your help has been appreciated. And I'm glad to actually put a face to the name finally.
Okay, thank you. What I want to say is that DegreeWorks is program. It's a programming. It's a program, and so there are priorities. So Gen Ed is one priority. The major is another priority, and generally, a course that a student takes that can apply both in Gen Ed and in the major will go into Gen Ed unless it's a requirement for graduation in the major. So for instance, in business, Econ 101 or 102 is required in the major. So even though Econ 101 and 102 can meet requirements in Gen Ed, when the student takes the course, the first place it's going to go is in the major because it's required to graduate from that major. So we can make adjustments, but that's why that often happens, because when the student then takes, for instance, BU 401 or BU 701, which can go into the major, then Econ 101 or 102 can go into Gen Ed. But the way it's programmed, the priority is those courses in the major. I mean, there's unfortunately, my wish list would be that it would be an automatic process, but it is not as of now. So something similar happens with LA AA, because history 110, 111, 112, one of those courses is required in LAAA to graduate. So it's the priority for it is supposed to goes into the major, but often because the student has a different course that can go into that slot in the major, it goes into Gen Ed. So, but some adjustments can be made based on that reality. The other thing that happens is once grades post, I don't know why it does this, but it's just a part of the products framework. Courses can move around based on the grades that the students earn. But that has nothing to do with what we program or anything like that. What I want to say is the new HSAS program has been a problem. I'll put it that way. For a number of reasons. One, we in DegreeWorks, we cannot scribe for the program or put the program up until we have approval that it has been accepted or approved by the state. That's one. So it may be up, or the academic affairs may discuss it with you as advisors ahead of the actual approval coming through. But we cannot do anything until the actual approval is there. That's number one. Number two, we cannot do anything until Central puts in the program on CUNY first. In this case, because the program, the old version did not have subplans, official subplans. It always had articulations, but didn't have official subplans the way it does now. There were certain codes that had to be created by Central before it could be reflected or would show up on DegreeWorks. The reality is DegreeWorks only reflects what is on CUNY first. It's not a separate program. It gets all of its information from CUNY first. So if something is off on CUNY first, it will show up weird on DegreeWorks. So there was a little bit of a disconnect with all of these new codes being created by Central, being disseminated to, for instance, when a new student comes into admissions, now if they're in HSAS, they have to declare a subplan. So by the time all of that training happened, et cetera, there were quite a few issues with HSAS. So we tried to make adjustments so that students were not negatively impacted. And some students, when they come back, when they get readmitted, if they stay out for a semester, they come back, their admissions automatically puts them in the new program. But the reality is, if they can graduate quicker out of the old program and they were here before, they can go back into the prior catalog year in which they were. So I think it's going to take a little bit of adjustment. It's a new program effective fall 22. And I think everybody needs to become more clear as to what happens where. DegreeWorks just reflects the whatever is not on CUNY first. But that's the reality of the situation. So I hope that helps.
Yes, it does. It's very helpful. Does anyone have any other questions for Doreen? Okay. Well, Doreen, thank you so much. And we'll yes.
I just want to say, with summer registration and with graduation, if you advise somebody who's going to be done at the end of the summer semester, as soon as they register, the student needs to send an email to gradaudit@qcc.cuny.edu, or you can send the email, but no way to identify summer students until the summer session. Gotcha. And that by that time that happens, the ceremony is almost
party's over.
Okay, so I think all right.
Oh, Jeffrey has one more point. Hi, Jeffrey.
I was looking at one of my students' profiles. She's a certificate student. CUNY First has her discontinued, even though that she completed all the requirements. Have you seen that before?
So say that again, Jeff.
I have a student who completed the certificate program for, I think it was medical office assistant. When I went to CUNY First to check her graduation status, it said discontinued, not completed. So I'm not sure if that seems unusual to me. I'm not sure. Have you seen that before?
I don't know. I would have to look at it. What I do know is that if a student is not registered for a particular semester, they go into a discontinued status. So the question becomes, clearly, the first thing that comes to my mind is that the student was not registered for the spring semester. So I will have to look at it. So shoot me the ID number. I will take a look and see what is going on CUNY First and respond, because that's the students get a discontinued status if they're not registered for the current semester.
Thank you.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Thank you, Doreen.
All right, have a good one.
Okay.
I'm not
You
leaving,
too.
but
No, stay. Yeah, you. Thank you for your contribution.
have a good weekend, everyone.
You too. Next is John Allen from CUNY Edge.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, William, for inviting me to today's presentation. I'm going to discuss the CUNY Edge program. CUNY Edge is one of the special programs here at Queensborough. We service a specific population of Queensborough students. We work with students who are receiving cash benefits through HRA, as well as other benefits through either HRA or ACS childcare services. We provide them with a wide range of services, from secondary academic advisement to personal advisement and also career development. We provide throughout each full semester seminar series that focus on these three different areas: academics, personal growth and development, as well as career development. We have several services that we offer students, from intercession tuition assistance, student work fellowship program, and also link them with internships and volunteer opportunities over the summer. We service students throughout their academic career here at Queensborough, even if they're no longer receiving benefits from either one of the two eligible, and if they receive benefits, no longer receive benefits is what I'm trying to say, through HRA or ACS. We don't discontinue them just because they're no longer receiving, but they do have to be receiving to become a CUNY Edge student. We are a small program. We're located in the library building on the 4th floor in room 440. If anyone wants to stop by and get further information. Does anyone have any questions for me? No?
It's Friday.
It's Friday. It's okay. If you have any questions, I gave the location. Feel free to stop by.
Great.
I actually do.
Oh, go
Sorry.
ahead.
Yeah, it took
Please.
a little long. Hi.
It's okay. Go ahead.
Thank you. Let's suppose we have a student who comes in, is admitted, and maybe, I don't know, an example, maybe CUNY Start, right? And then they go and sign up for, benefits like through the Advocacy Resource Center. Would they be able to join CUNY Edge, or even if they've started a semester or whatever semester they start in, up to receiving benefits,
Yes, I've worked with CUNY Start multiple times with the transition from the student being a CUNY Start student to being a matriculating CUNY student. If they are, when they get benefits, if they're still in CUNY Start, then no, they wouldn't be eligible for CUNY Edge. But if they are at the transitional period from ending CUNY Start and matriculating to the QCC matriculating side, then yes. And actually, the art program in CUNY Edge, we're located in the same office. So the handoff between the two programs are very easy.
Okay. So it has to be specifically transitional phase, right?
Yes, because we only work, CUNY Edge program only works with students who are matriculating.
Oh, okay. Thank you for clarifying. Okay.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right. And the best for last, Bonnie Flaherty. Hi, Bonnie.
Hi, everybody. Will, you're funny.
I tried. Thank you.
Happy Friday, everybody. I'm gonna apologize in advance. I'm home with a cold, so I sound terrible. And Mike told me earlier I don't look like myself, so there it is. But I have a little bit of information to share about CUNY Start. Will, am I okay to share my screen?
Yep.
Okay, awesome. There we go. So we are looking at this semester, trying to talk with students right from the beginning in intake about their developmental options at QCC. And, you know, I think most of you probably saw the announcements from CUNY last semester that CUNY's doing away with traditional remediation, which is not quite true. We have a lot of developmental options for students who are coming in with some gaps in their academic preparation. And I know that you have folks coming in to talk about the different options with USIP. There are, and also for the co-requisite courses, CUNY Start kind of falls in the middle there. And we have summer workshops that are 6 to 8 weeks. They are $35 for the summer term. They are really well supported through advisement, through tutoring. They give students a really great opportunity to be on campus during the summer. And then we have the fall programs, which, as you'll see here in a minute, are pretty standard for what we've always offered, plus a new piece here. We will be piloting this fall an opportunity for students to take a CUNY Start English course. So this would be a student with a deep need in English, plus 1 credit class. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. For those of you who haven't heard me talk through this before, I'll just give a couple of what are the benefits of CUNY Start, and I'll share these slides with Will after so you can have to share with students if you're meeting with them. The benefits of CUNY Start are really that we are a very supportive, low-risk way for students to start college. Though our target student population are folks with both a need in English and math that have been identified as deep through the proficiency index, we really are able to work with any student who has any level of math or English need. That can be a new student who feels like who's just below the proficiency index for proficiency, who feels like they would benefit from a semester of additional support. It can mean students who are identified as ESL, who are placed into a co-requisite class, who would rather have a CUNY Start semester before they begin their credit classes. The big selling points of CUNY Start really are that students are able to save either their out-of-pocket money or their financial aid money for classes that are strictly toward their degree. It gives them 2 opportunities to pass, to earn proficiency. And it also gives them this whole semester or this whole summer of working with an advisor to make sure that they're really ready for college. They have the chance to be really acclimated to what it means to be a college student before they're enrolled in classes that are very demanding, that cost a lot of money, and that, you know, really make or break their GPA. We have a few requirements for students. They need to have finished high school. So this is not just as it has been in the past semesters. Students can't do a CUNY Start program until they've finished either their high school diploma or a high school equivalency certificate. A new feature that we have is we require students to attend a tech orientation before the semester starts. And this we do them both online and in person, and it's really a way for us to get students to commit to the program, to understand what it means to come to campus, to understand all of the pieces that they need in terms of tech tools to be a successful college student. For almost every CUNY Start program, only CUNY Start classes can be taken. The one exception is this new pilot that I'll talk a little bit more about next. This is my huge list of all of our classes. And again, I'll share this with everybody. This is really very much the same as what we've offered in the past several semesters. As you'll see, we only have one fully online class, and that is our evening math class that will start September 16th, which is the late start date for the college. What we found is that students who are entering college with some pretty significant gaps in English and math preparation really need to be in person, at least some of the time. The exception for that has been our adult learners who are working on math. We've found that they've been pretty successful in that fully online evening course. It makes it more accessible for them. But that will continue to be the only fully online class that we'll offer. We've found that students who need that support in English really struggle in a fully online class, and the outcomes in that haven't been what we would hope. So we're really getting those students on campus. So this new model here that we're going to try is where CUNY Start and ASAP will be partnering with each other to offer a CUNY Start English class, either in the morning or the afternoon, and one credit-bearing course. And we're working with a couple of academic departments to get that set up here in the next 2 weeks. Basically, what this would do is allow students to really focus on developing the English skills that they need for academic college English, but also have the opportunity to start to earn just a little bit of credit and be on their degree path. Students will, if they are eligible for the ASAP program, have their tuition paid through ASAP. If they have applied for FAFSA or the Jose Peralta Scholarship and are not eligible for that aid, the CUNY Start program will be picking up the tuition for that 3-credit class. And so it's a pretty big commitment on the program's parts to the student's success. The students will be in the CUNY Start English class starting August 28th, and then they'll begin the credit course a couple of weeks into the term. And then I'm just going to share this last one with you because I was so excited we actually got everybody together. This is our current CUNY Start team. You'll see there we've got a lot of people who are very supportive and excited to work with students and with all of you. So I'll stop my share there and then take any questions that people have.
It's a lot to take in.
It's a lot to take in, yeah.
Those are some major updates. You guys are going through some good changes.
I think it will be really good. You know, well, what we found is that when we talk with students who really could benefit from the program, one of the sticking points is I needed to start taking my credit classes. I want to get started with earning credit. So our hope is to do this in a way that we can both help students work on their academic English and be very successful in a first semester class. Doreen, you've got a question?
Yeah, hi Bonnie.
Hi, Doreen.
The students who make the commitment, how successful are they on the first go round?
The students in our general CUNY Start.
Yeah.
Very successful. what we find is that students who finish the program have very high success rates in terms of earning proficiency. And then particularly in moving on to their credit classes in English and the humanities do very well. We're still really working on that math transition with students. That's, I think, and that I know is an area of concern for a lot of people is how students are doing in those gateway math classes. But I think what we're finding is that the students who opt into CUNY Start are beginning college with just a very different foundation than students who are bypassing it.
Any questions? Hi, Andrew.
Hi, Andrew.
Hey, buddy. Hope you feel better soon.
Thanks.
Not including the group pose. Are you going to make any of those last couple of slides available or send out a flyer or something?
Yes, I will both make that presentation available to everybody. And once we have a few more of the details of the credit program really finalized, I'll send out a flyer to everyone.
Especially that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's the new one. And I know we all need like the concrete details on it.
Okay. Well, I think, I think it's fair to say we can wrap this up. Thank you everyone for your contributions. Thank you for everyone attending. Again, this is recorded and we will be sending out a link like I shared earlier for Wednesday's training as well. So I'll be sending out the link and we'll make adjustments when it comes to the calendars. That was a tech snafu, but we're working that out. Thank you, everyone. Have a great weekend and enjoy the rest of your day.